Hello, everyone. My name is John from Community Life Church in Catskill, New York, and this is Meals Ready to Eat from the Bible. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified. Facebook, follow us, like us, and everybody, please leave a comment. Thanks. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today's episode is Who is Jesus? He is your Redeemer. Since Jesus is God, he can and will redeem us. So who is Jesus? Well, to begin with, he is God. That's the most important thing we can know about Jesus. In the book of Mark, which we went through at the start of the series, we see multiple instances of Jesus doing and saying things that only God can or would say. So among other places, of course, in the scripture we see this, but we just focused on the book of Mark. And we did that because a lot of people say, well, Jesus never claimed to be God, especially in the book of Mark. He most certainly did claim to be God by doing things that only God can do. And there are things that God does that no one else can do. This is what Jesus did. But among other things, he can redeem us. He can redeem us from, from the cost of our sin and from other things. He can get us out of circumstances we don't belong in and so on. But let's go take a look at what it means to be redeemed from our sin. We'll start with the scripture and then we'll break it down a little bit and then we'll come back and close it all up. So let's go to the Bible. Okay, let's take a look at our passage today. It's a bit of a long one, so it's going to be from the book of Mark, and we're going to see exactly what Jesus is saying to us and this little adventure he has. Okay, starting in Mark chapter 5, verse 1. They came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gerasenes, and no, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he often had been bound with shackles and chains, but he wrenched the chains apart and he broke the shackles in pieces. No one had the strength to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and on the mountains, he was always crying out and cutting himself with stones. And when he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and fell down before him. And crying out with a loud voice, he said, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I adjure you by God, do not torment me." For he was saying to him, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirit." Down in verse 15, and they came to Jesus as the townspeople came out after this man was delivered, and they came to Jesus and saw the demon-possessed man, the one who had the legion, sitting there clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Then down to verse 19 it says, and he did not permit him, because the man said, "Look, come on into my town." And Jesus said, no, he did not permit him, but said to him, "Go home to your friends and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." So Jesus here had quite an adventure. It was very interesting what this man did and how he approached this man that nobody wanted. Let's go see what Jesus is trying to tell us here. So what does it mean for us? It means something for you and for me today. This is not something just happened 2,000 years ago without meaning. Excuse me. Jesus went out of his way to cross the water to meet a demon-possessed madman. Right, this guy was in a place, and Jesus gets into a boat on the other side of this lake, or sea as they call it, and went through that lake, crossed it with his disciples to meet this man. Jesus went to where the man was. Jesus approached the man. No one would go near. No one liked this guy. No one wanted to live next door to him. No one wanted anything to do with him. But Jesus still went to him. Jesus redeemed a man nobody wanted. All right, so this man was unwanted by everybody. No one wanted to be around him. He was always screaming and spitting and slobbering all over people. No one wanted him. Jesus still redeemed him. Just because we may be a person on the outside of our community does not mean Jesus will ignore us. No, Jesus will never ignore us. He is always after us. Jesus will redeem us just like he did with this man. Jesus is coming. He is our Redeemer. He will cross this lake, this river, this storm to meet us, and he will go where we are, but he's going to insist that we change and follow him. And he will send us out, just like he did with this man. The man wanted Jesus to come to his community. Jesus said, "No, you go. with the message that I gave you. So he will send us out with his message of hope and deliverance. And that is very important because Jesus will send us with what he's done for us. We then become the main witness for many people, the main access point for many people to the gospel. And that's very important. And our past will not stop Jesus from using us and redeeming us. So, this is a message to us, to you, and to me from the God of creation, from the God of the universe. And it's one directed at each one of us. There is life and there is hope in Jesus alone, the one true God who will redeem us according to his purpose. So he's a deliverer or healer or redeemer. He is God. And we can know his calling because he's going to tell us, and we can know his purpose and live according to it, and not according to the hopelessness and the anger and all the fighting we see in the world around us. We can be delivered from that because he's made an offer to us to pay our debts, or debts that we owe to God. And these debts will keep us, if we don't pay them, we'll be slaves to our own sin and the sin of the world. And instead, Jesus offers to redeem us from that, and he will redeem us from that. And believe me, that is good news. All right, thanks for watching. You can find us on the web at clchurch.cc. That's clchurch.cc. We meet 10:30 Sunday mornings in 20 West Main Street, Catskill, New York. Hope to see you there, and thanks once again.